Today's guest is Zoltan Visy, a former creative director turned EdTech founder, who spent over 2 decades in the advertising world before making a bold leap into education. He's the co-founder and CEO of Redmenta, a company helping teachers save time and personalize learning using AI. What started as a side project became a mission, and today Zoltan is deeply engaged in solving real problems in classrooms across Europe. In our conversation, we talk about the future of teaching, the emotional roller coaster of leadership, and why education might be the most exciting place to innovate right now. Hello and welcome. It's lovely to have you on our podcast. Our today's guest is Zoltan Visy. Nice to have you here.
Hello, Christoph. Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be here.
Great, and let's jump right in. I would love to begin with your background. What made you leave your career, your creative career, your 20 years of career, and jump all in on Redmenta?
Okay, so just to make it clear, I started as a graphic designer 25 years ago, and I had quite a long career in advertising industry. I worked as art director, then creative group head. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I really loved that kind of job. I really loved working in the creative industry. I really loved the culture. I really loved the people. I really loved that we can face different kind of challenges from, I'm not saying day by day, day to day, but challenges. And basically what made me change is, I believe the advertising industry I'm from Hungary, so the advertising industry in Central Europe is mostly about, especially in the smaller countries, mostly about localization. The budgets are always limited, and the challenge are getting, repetitive from after a while. And I think that was I had a tipping point after COVID or during COVID. I'm not sure when exactly this happened, but around the time of COVID, I realized that I need something else. I need to do something that I always wanted to do, to build my own company, to be an entrepreneur and build my own company. And basically the Redmenta project started before COVID as a hobby project, and we started to work with my now co-founder partner Balint on this project, but it wasn't really serious. After COVID, we realized that it's not just what we wanted to achieve with Redmenta. It still makes sense, but we realized that we want to work on that problem and not others' problems. Mm-hmm. Why education? That's a frequent question. Mm-hmm. Because I don't have an education background. Beside that, my family is packed with teachers and educators. But I wasn't appealed by the career of being a teacher, not because there was anything problem with that, but I wasn't interested in in education. What I was interested is problem solving, and I just realized that the education sector has so much problem. I'm basically living the best of my life, solving these problems.
And how do you see it now, when you have a few years already in education, trying to solve those problems? Do you feel that you succeed somehow, or you feel them deepened?
Obviously, it's a good question. So obviously, when people start to dig in, the deeper they get, the more they realize that how much more problem there is to solve. But if you are doing this not to get over, not just to get over some problem, but you are doing this because you enjoy solving problems, it's a good setup for me, and I believe it's a good setup for everyone who has the same mindset as I have.
I found interesting that, like, tapping a little bit into you being a leader. I found an interesting post of yours on LinkedIn where you wondered how music reflects your leadership style. If you could tell us a little bit about that, for example, which song best captures how you run a startup?
I believe on that particular LinkedIn post, the song that was assigned to my leadership style was the Benny Hill song. A really comic. This is how I often feel about being a leader, being everywhere and chasing problems and solutions and visions. But I believe this is more like a roller coaster. Becoming an entrepreneur and becoming a CEO of a company, it's more like a roller coaster, an emotional roller coaster. There is all kind of emotions in this role, and it changes. I always amazed by how fast these feelings can change. In 1 minute, I'm so enthusiastic about the future and what we are building is going to be is already so amazing, but it's going to be the most amazing thing ever. But in a few minutes, I get a news about, I don't know, bad news, and I got so down. It's changing, and yeah, I'm a millennial. I love listening music. I usually listen music while I work, even in office spaces. It somehow regulates my brain waves.
And do you see any change in that? For example, maybe this Benny Hill theme is changing into kind of a symphony or an imperial march, or is it always a Benny Hill?
If I look at the last 3 years, we founded the company 3 years ago. The project started earlier. When we realized that we want to we want to do it seriously, and we want to make it a serious project, we hit a reset button. We redesigned everything. We rebuilt the application. We redesigned the business plan, or actually, we designed a new business plan. We haven't had a business plan before. So built a business plan, built a new application. And if I look at the last 3 years, when this project got more serious, we got the first investment, and we started to sell the licenses. I'm going to talk more about the application later a bit. But I remember the first year, it was so stressful. Me and my co-founder, Balint, we argued so much. I believe it's looking back to that journey, how we realize that how we can work together, how the common goal propels us, both of us, towards finding the common ground, finding the common language, finding the solutions that we are both happy with. I just got the chills if I think about this process. Looking back, feels so good that we had. I remember the hard times, and I remember how we got through these hard times. It's a really good feeling, and probably you can project it to music or films or any kind of cultural prints. Yeah, this is more like there is a famous psychologist, particularly a Hungarian one, and he was the first psychologist he worked in research in the US. He wrote a book about the flow experience, when you got into the flow, and now I absolutely feel that that feeling when you just enjoy whatever challenges you have so much. You don't care about the troubles. You don't care about the bumps and the mistakes.
Is it stemmed from your experience with your partner or your company in particular, or is it a wide market change that caused this goosebumps and this state of flow?
I think everything have to get into the right place. First of all, us, the founder team, that's the most important. Of course, the market has changed in the last 3 years. It's crazy how AI is transforming every industry, not just education. And I see these changes as if we will look back, I don't know, 5 years later or 10 years later to this change, it's gonna be it's gonna look dramatic. I'm sure we don't feel that now because we are in the middle of doing it. We are in the middle of the change, so it doesn't feel cataclysmic. But if I'm pretty sure that when we will look back after 10 years, it's gonna look like a cataclysmic change.
So what's the future of education and how has AI changed that?
Yeah, so just let me start with what we are doing that's gonna help identify or that's gonna help clarify why we believe, why we see this particular future. So Redmenta is an AI assistant for teachers, and it helps them to save time and create a personalized learning environment. And the whole thing started when we realized that the main problem of education is that the time changed much and the world changed much faster than the education system could. The recent education systems, what we have right now, basically everywhere in the world, was designed and started centuries ago in the around the age of industrialization, when the need was to create unified workers, unified knowledge people, unified people with unified knowledge, with unified skills. We needed people who push a button behind the conveyor belt in a factory. And time has changed. The demand of the workplaces, the demand of the world is changed. But education system is still have this cookie cutter attitude to this
to put you in kind of a box.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously it's a one size fits all. Every student gets the same treatment, gets the same information in the same way, in the same at the same time. But we have to realize that first of all, the learners are different. People are different. The engagement style and mode of the learners are different. What they are interested in and what engages them is different. So if we want students who are not just passengers in the education systems, but explorers, and they want to achieve things and want to explore the world, and they are curious. They know how to find their passion. They know how to solve problems. They know how to be creative. We have to have a different education system. And I believe that you were asking about the future of education. Let me talk first about the today's education. We can witness an amazing change, not just in education, but all around the world. Basically, first time in the history, education has a chance to change this cookie cutter approach. Basically, right now we have a technology. We just got a technology that can personalize education on a large scale, and that's
unprecedented.
Yeah, I believe this is mind-blowing. I believe this is one of the most exciting thing that happens today in this world, and it's gonna have a huge effect. And let's talk about the future of education. Just imagine. First of all, there is this interesting engagement model I recently read in a book. If I can recommend this book, it's called the Disengaged Teens, from an educational researcher and a New York Times journalist. And this book is about this book is for parents, so I highly recommend to all parents who believe that the education system is not doing their best to make the best out of their kids. So this book has an amazing and really simple model of how students engage in education. I believe this model also works in a work environment with a team or with employees. But basically, there is 4 engagement mode, and you can imagine these 4 engagement mode in 2 axes. The one horizontal axis is the engagement level, so a low engagement and high engagement of the students, and the vertical axis is the agency of the students. Are they making any decision? Are they in control? Are they exploring and deciding which way they want to go, or they just witnessing and receiving information. And in this coordinates system, the low engagement and in the low agency factor, you can find the passenger students. They are the ones who just do the bare minimum to survive. I believe we all witnessed and we all remember how we were in this engagement mode while we were in school, especially in the Eastern Bloc of Europe. On the higher agency part of the low engagement and higher agency part of this coordinate system, you can find the resistors, the students who actively resisting education. They are the ones who avoiding schools. They are the ones who have behavioral issues. They are expressing themselves actively of their low engagement. On the third mode of engagement is the achievers. They are the ones who follows the instructions. They are the ones who basically probably they are the favorite kind of students of the teachers. They do everything what the teacher asks. They perform well most of the time. If they lose track of their studying, they are struggling because they don't know how to make decision, or they might struggle to make decision and find their passion and find their way to enjoy learning. And on the top of this system, you can find the explorers. They are the ones who in many cases, an explorer might be a passenger in many subjects and in many topics, but they find their passion. They are curious. They love to learn about the topic what they are interested in. Of course, they have topics which are not interesting for them. But it's important that these four model is not a personality trait or a personality. These are modes. Every people do every kind of engagement modes. And if we look at the education today, we can witness the biggest, overwhelming majority of the students are in the passenger mode, just doing the bare minimum. They want to survive. They don't really get engaged in education. And personalization of with technology and with personalization, we can actually find these students' interest. We can make the study material more relevant to them. Otherwise, without technology, teachers don't have time to find the relevance to all of their students with the topic they need to teach. But with artificial intelligence, we have a huge opportunity to help the teacher, to support the teachers, to create personalized learning materials, personalized learning experience, where the students can connect what they are studying with their interest. And I believe that's gonna affect humanity a lot.
The question came to my mind as you were speaking. Because I'm completely agreeing with what you've said, and that's the times I'm glad that I'm alive at that time, that the education is being changed, because my background in education is stemmed from my family as well. So I grew in this system, and I can't wait to see as it changes. But I can see a vast majority of tools right now going out live, solving exactly the problem you've said, helping teachers create materials personalized for students. And let's like consider for a moment which one of these tools, I guess not the single one, but maybe a few of them will win the market, the mind share and trust of teachers the most. And what do you think will be the critical factors for the winners?
Mm-hmm. This is a $100 million question. And I believe this is not just an educational sector challenge. This is everywhere. Today, basically, non-technical founders can build up applications with AI tools within days. So the threshold of launching a new application is absolutely down to the floor. And what it means, the new applications and gonna appear every week for one particular problem, and the competition will be crazy, absolutely crazy. I believe the blue ocean in the business world, we have this phrase, the blue ocean. It's gonna be pretty soon a myth that we heard about. The elders
it will turn into a red ocean.
Yeah, the elders told about the tale of a blue ocean, but no one will be able to witness a blue ocean anymore in the market, because everything gonna turn into red ocean within just seconds. Whenever you got a new idea, dozens of applications gonna come up and copy your solution. But that's a factor. That's not a good or a bad situation. That's how it is. There is a few things that is important. There is a few factor that is important if you want to win. For example, the education sector. Education sector is a bit special. It's a bit more complex than any business sectors, any other business sectors. The regulations, the standardization, the data safety regulations, the process of procurement is really colorful. I can say
that's an euphemism.
Yeah. And it also means that there are incumbent companies or stakeholders in the sector, and if you want to win in education, you have to find a way how to deliver value, not just for the end user, not just for the teachers, but also for the incumbent stakeholders. So they will be their interest will be to use your solution. That's what we are doing. That's why we are building, for example, an AI tool that works with the publisher's content. So just an example, the problem with AI in education is the accuracy or the trustworthiness of the output of the AI. And we have trustworthy content for centuries. It's coming from educational publishers in printed form or maybe in digital form in many cases. But we developed a solution where we make their content enhanced with AI, so the students can interact with their content through an AI. That's a different engagement mode. That's a different. There's huge vast amount of possibilities in that. In this case, we deliver benefit to the publishers, and we also deliver an additional benefit to the end user, because the output of the AI will be much more trustworthy. The other factor how you could win the education sector is identify the real problems. In many cases, we can witness dozens of new applications that appear even in the education space from week to week. The majority, overwhelming majority of the of these solutions are just scratching the surface of the problem. They don't have they didn't have the time, they didn't have the experience, they didn't have the connection, they didn't have the testing capability to test their theory in real world environments. Red Manta, the initial project was started 12 years ago. The new AI solution, what we wrapped in a business, started 3 years ago, but we used our experience, we used our connections, we used our database to boost our launching. So when we started the AI features, we leveraged on this
base
legacy,
this fundament, right?
Yeah, this fundament. And the newcomers are having difficult time to just get in touch with schools, with school networks, with districts, and make them to test their solution. It's challenging. You have to have the connection. And that also, it's not just about connections, but it's about getting information from the field. If you have this leverage, like we have, we have a better information source. We have a wider channel to the field. We test our concepts in not just one country, but dozens of countries, because we have schools and users in a lot of country. We have customers in a lot of country, so we can test our theories, we can test our ideas in more countries, in more and more different environments, and that helps us deliver better and better solutions.
So if you would boil that down to 3 distinctive factors that can help a EdTech startup to win.
Okay, first of all, you have to get in touch with the ecosystem. You have to build and work yourself into the ecosystem. You have to build credibility in the ecosystem to yourself. Second, you have to secure the information channel from the field, from the teachers, from schools. And then third, you have to work on real problems. It's not enough to just scratch the surface. You have to solve deep issues, deep problems that the teachers are facing. And it requires an incredible amount of learning. So just a +1, it's absolutely, you have to learn, you have to be ready to learn a lot.
That's interesting, because when you go into the education sector, you don't think like, oh right, I'll be learning. No, I'll be teaching. So now you're turning the tables. I love that. And speaking about teachers, you said that educators are the engine of social change.
I believe so.
Yeah, and I'm interested in what personal experience inspired you, sir?
I cannot tell any particular personal story, or I have so many bits of memories of teachers and mentors who helped me through challenges. I think what's really important is the role. What kind of teacher can help, can make a bigger impact on students. And we all met with the teacher who tells the topic, stand in front of the classroom, tells the topic, and writes a test about it. It's not the most impactful.
Another euphemism.
Yeah. But we also talked about the future of education. But it's important that the teacher's role has to change. Their role have to change. They have to change from the source, from the role of being the source of the information, to being a mentor, being a person who don't know better, but can help you find the truth, can help you find a solution, can help you find your passion. And I believe this kind of teacher, I can tell many, not just teachers, but mentors in my earlier career, mentors who made an impression on me about this kind of cultural atmosphere that encourage the students, encourage the people to be creative, to be fearless, and just go boldly where no one has gone before.
Ever been. Maybe to make it even more specific, if you will compare this future teacher, future leader, future mentor, is it more of a mentor like Simon Sinek, or maybe it's more of who to choose here? Is it more of a mentorship or a apprenticeship, the role model, like the or the apprenticeship, where you are learning to do along with your teacher something? He shows you how to do a particular thing, like the project specific base, or is it like the inspirational speaker? How do you see it, or both?
I think both. The teacher's role in the future will be really, really colorful, and probably much more will be built around the interest of the students. Obviously, a motivational role. They have to have a motivational speaker side who sparks who starts the spark. That's a really important role of the teacher, to find the spark of the students, find what the students are interested in. In many cases, students don't know what they are interested in. Young people don't know what they are interested in. It's just the rare few who knows exactly what they want to do when they gonna be an adult. Like my co-founder, he was a child watching TV when he realized that he wants to be a web developer. Around the age of 8. This is a rare case. In many cases, like I had a classmate We just had and the 25th anniversary meeting of the graduation, and I just always amazed by all of them. But there is one particular story that is relevant to this topic. I had a classmate who was really a resistant type of and passenger type of students. He wasn't really. We knew that he was a smart guy. We knew that he had a charming humor. He was a really kind kid, but he wasn't behaving particularly well in the classroom, as I recall. And he didn't get good grades also. Average, not too bad, but not particularly good. And when we find out that he became a doctor, after we studied information technology, so we were nowhere to medicine, and biology and all this kind of stuff. We were studying information technology, and when we find out that he became a doctor after graduation, he figured out that he's interested in medication and making people well. He find his passion, and he became a successful and a popular doctor. I believe that's that also a role model. I mean, there's a moral of this story. There is no particular mentor or teacher I can identify, but the fact that he could find his passion, I believe that's a sign that everyone can find their passion in education, and teacher could help them.
Yeah, and first of all, shouldn't hinder.
Absolutely. Yeah,
that's the first. Make no harm.
Yeah. It's not just. I don't want to put so much weight on the teacher's shoulder. Basically, the family environment has much more impact on the outcome of the adult life of the person than education and teachers. But teachers have a critical role who can just, with the minor nudges and just looking after the kids, caring about the kids, and thinking about, okay, that might be an interesting topic for this and that students, could make a huge impact on a person's life. I heard many stories when underperforming students find their passion in robotics, in engineering, and they become interns in amazing companies like NASA and
or Redmond.
In Redmond as well. Yeah, we have the exact story.
Oh, really? Yeah. Great. Let's jump to another subject a little bit. Let's look at the EdTech sector from the venture capital perspective, and I'm wondering, what can you tell about why venture capitals should bother about EdTech startups at all?
The education technology is a huge market. Right now it's about $5 billion industry, and it's about to scale up. It's continuously growing, especially with the appearance of the AI. And the part of the AI, just the section of the AI sector in education is predicted to blow up to almost $100 billion dollar a year. It's growing rapidly. If I calculate correctly, but I might be wrong, but it's about 30% growth
annually.
Yeah. And that's a huge growth. There's a huge boom in education technology. If you invest in education, it would be wise to get, and if you're not familiar with the industry or the sector, it might be familiar. It would be wise to get someone on board who understands the ways of the education sector, because at first look, it might seem a bit too complex and might seem a bit frightening. For example, the localization was a huge barrier in EdTech just a few years ago. Now it's not. AI solved everything. The localization, the curriculum mapping, the content integration. It's become, the fragmented market gets more accessible with AI-driven processes and AI-driven companies. We are not just developing AI tools for teachers. We are also utilizing for market research, for automated processes, for developing the product, for delivering, developing the content and delivering the content. That's gonna be more and more easier. So I believe it's a huge opportunity in business-wise, and it's also important that it's much better to invest in education than investing in, I don't know,
military arms and so on.
Military arms. I don't want to be a judgment of that, but definitely fuel and I don't know, burning fossil fuels is not a good idea of an investment. If you want to take care of think about the future, and if you want to be conscious about the future.
And do you see the more more visibility of education in the VC interest?
To be frank, I believe the AI changes surprised everyone, and not just the market, not just the vendors and the founders, the startups, the developers, but also the VCs and the investors. If we talk about the investors, I encountered many investors who haven't realized that the old way of thinking is not relevant anymore. And the old way, I mean, a year ago.
Yeah, exactly.
What we believed a year ago is just not true anymore. And
yeah, the rapid pace of that changes.
Yeah,
it's hard to wrap your head around that. It's astonishing.
I'm not blaming anyone. We are in the same we are in the same shoes.
Yeah.
It's extremely challenging. I try to force myself to get all the news from the
impossible
industry. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes I literally feel pain about, I don't want to read more updates about AI because I just
Yeah, give me a traditional book.
I just figure it out how to align with the yesterday's updates. So I need to figure it out how to align, how to adapt to the new updates.
Yeah.
It's challenging, and it's sometimes it's painful as a founder, but I probably that's the same situation with the investors, and the situation probably much worse in education, where you have more. I mean, for teachers and schools, you have a lot of responsibility. You have limited resources, and also you need to keep up with the world. But luckily, the changes are actually helping them in this, keeping up with the world.
Great. Before we end, I'd like to ask you a few quick questions. So let's start with a rapid fire round. Please give a shortest possible answer, and your first thought is the best thought, preferably answer with just one word. Are you ready?
Okay.
The first question. The most overhyped buzzword in EdTech in 2025?
AI, but also it's underhyped at the same time. We are getting bored about AI, but it's bigger than that.
All right. Next one. The mistake EdTech founders repeat most often?
Not getting alone with each other, not finding the way.
I love that one.
How to solve the problems together.
I love that one, and I feel the same. Let's go with another one. One metric you check every day on Redmenta's dashboard?
The pipeline value.
Business life as
Yeah.
usual. Nothing strange here. Next one. If budget and tech were no object, which feature would you add to Redmenta tomorrow?
The capability to generate historically and scientifically accurate illustrations and images.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Zoltan, it was great having you here, speaking to you. I loved to hear about your point of view. Thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really enjoyed this talk.
Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.